If you're watching this video, chances are you want to get better at presenting yourself on camera. Now, it could be that you're about to deliver some promotional videos for your company, or possibly you're being interviewed for a documentary, or someone's asked you to do a testimonial video, and you want to make sure that you really deliver those really well. So what I'm going to cover is what to expect when someone comes out to film you, but also some top tips to help you present yourself on camera. If you've got a professional coming out to film you, they're going to bring a certain amount of equipment with them. Now, lots of equipment has actually shrunk down in size, whether people are filming off digital SLRs, mirrorless cameras, etc. But they're still going to turn up with a certain amount of equipment. One, obviously the camera, that's going to be there to film you and capture the image. But secondly, possibly two other bits of equipment. One, some additional lighting, and this is because depending on where you're filming, the lighting might not be brilliant, or they might not be able to direct it onto you to where you're sitting. So don't be surprised if they turn up with a couple of lights. Now, often these can look quite big, and the reason for that is they're a softbox. So rather than pinpointing the light directly on you, it's to create a nice soft look so it doesn't create lots of shadows. We've actually got two additional lights in here to make sure that the picture's exposed properly. And secondly, and this is really, really important, they're probably going to turn up with some sort of microphone. Now, ideally, if it's an interview or you're shooting some promo shots, you can probably see just here, I've got a little mic, a lavalier clipped to me. Now, this is just so that we can get the highest quality sound. Lots of people seem to be sort of worried about the mic. Oh, I don't want a mic clipped on me. All it does is capture your voice, and it's often said that you can probably get away with some slightly rubbish footage if the audio is great. But what you can't get away with is great footage but terrible audio. People just won't watch it. If they can't hear what you're saying and it's not clear, they won't watch it. So don't be afraid that they're going to turn up with a camera, possibly some lighting, and most importantly, a mic. When filming your video, you're going to need to pick a suitable location. And by that I mean somewhere that isn't actually too distracting for you, but also isn't too distracting for what you're trying to film. So while it's quite common to be filmed in an office, you don't want it on that busy day when everyone's in, someone's brought their pet dog, etc. and there's loads going on that's going to distract you, but also make additional noise. People are there, or the video's there to hear you. They don't want to be hearing, if you're having building work or something done on a certain day, don't book that day for the filming. It sounds obvious, but you do need to think ahead. Just check that the day they're coming out to film, that there's a suitable area available, and that there's not going to be too many distractions or noise that's going to ruin the footage or put you off. Depending on the type of video being filmed will change the way the camera's set up and which sort of camera angle is going to be used. So in this one, such as I'm giving some instructions or it's a promotional video, it's quite often for the subject and myself to be talking straight to the camera. That's because I'm talking to you who's watching it. But that's for that aspect. And you see news readers or people presenting, talking straight to the camera. The second type of angle is actually if you're being interviewed. When being interviewed, it's likely that the camera angle is going to be slightly off-center. And what I mean by that is you're not going to be looking directly at the camera. It could be that there's someone operating the camera stand behind that, but there's also someone that is actually interviewing you, so you're actually looking at them. In cases like today, actually we've just got Tom standing behind the camera, so I've drawn a picture of someone on a whiteboard, so I know where I'm looking. So a little bit of a strange one because of course this is an instructional video, but this is the sort of angle that you would have and that you're likely to be filmed at if you're being interviewed. Okay, so it's come to the day that you're being filmed, and there's nothing more uncomfortable than watching someone who's uncomfortable on video. So you need to learn to relax and enjoy it, and I want to give you some tips on that. Firstly, what's really important to remember is that it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. This isn't live, or potentially, I know there's live video as well, but chances are what you're being filmed for isn't live. Therefore, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. If you say something wrong, guess what? We can do another take. You're often seeing lots of films B-roll, which is where we cut away from the interview to another sort of shot. And that is one, just to make the video more exciting, but two, to often cover up different cuts. So it could be, oh, the beginning bit was really good, but the end bit was better in take two. And we'll just join those together and cover them up. So first of all, relax, knowing that you don't need to do this in one take. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. Let's talk body language. It's really important that you're energetic. If you talk with your hands normally, carry on doing that. There's nothing worse than when you're just literally sat at the camera talking like this without blinking. Okay, it's really important. Smile, but also blink. Blink is natural. Don't try and just keep your eyes open at all times. And also smile. It relaxes you. It helps people connect with you. So smile, blink, act normal, be energetic, and if you need to do hand movements or move around, that's fine. Okay, get your personality across in the video. Talking slowly. Now, I've just said be energetic and excited, but this doesn't mean rush through your words. There's a difference between being energetic and passionate about what you're saying and actually trying to get through the words really quickly so I can finish this video and get back to something I'm more comfortable with. You don't want to be doing that. You need to slow it down and just go through what it is you need to say clearly, concisely, and making sure you get your message across clearly. Writing a script. Now, I'm not a big fan of set scripts or even teleprompters, and I want to explain why. Because teleprompters can be fantastic if you're a professional. If you're used to looking at camera and reading from one of these, then that's great. You can still come across natural. But often I've seen people who aren't used to them reading off a teleprompter and it goes like this, and they just look at it and they read every single word, and you can occasionally see them moving back and forth, and it just doesn't come across naturally. What I much prefer to do is have some bullet points about the key areas that you're going to cover. That's what I've got here. You can probably slightly see my laptop in thing. I've literally just got a couple of bullet points, and this one says script. And just remind me to say, I'm not a big fan of auto cues unless you're a professional using them. It is much more natural for you just to have some main key bullet points and then deliver it from the heart. You should know what you're talking about. You can always write that sort of basic script, but then just to help sort of embed it in your memory, even better to write it with hand, that helps more than typing it. But when it comes to delivering, I think you should deliver naturally. Here's a little tip which will really help the editor of your video, and that is leave a little gap both before and after talking, because you're going to want an edit point, or the editor is going to want an edit point. So it's really frustrating when someone finishes a sentence and goes, yeah, and that's it, and looks away because there's no cut on the end. You want, and there, that's it. And then just that little pause. It really helps if there's a couple of seconds either side. So be prepared that if you do deliver really well but then quickly cut away, it can be quite frustrating for the editor. So once you finish your sentence, don't straight away go, was that all right? Just give yourself a second or two to compose yourself before checking that everyone's happy. So to summarise, the person filming you does want to get the best out of this video, so take their advice. They will want to position some lighting probably, they will want to clip a mic onto you so that they get great audio, and they will want to position the camera where there's not a majorly distracting background and there's not too much noise, so help them with that. Secondly, just relax and enjoy it. A great tip, if you're not sure and you haven't done much filming before, film yourself a lot on your phone, just set it up, film yourself, and then watch yourself back and see how you come across. You might notice bits that you do where maybe you're not coming across naturally enough, but set it up and just practice. The more we step out of our comfort zone, the more relaxed and better we get with that. You can always pretend that, because you're looking at the lens, pretend there's someone there. Think of someone you know and you're talking to them. Whenever I deliver my videos, I don't know how many people are going to watch this or who's going to watch it. I just sort of pick one person and that's who I'm delivering it to. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you've got any questions or whatever, leave it in the comments below and I'll hopefully get back to you.